Huge game 6 tonight in Indy between the Pacers and the Knicks in this second-round series. New York, one victory away from its first berth to the Eastern Conference Finals in nearly 25 years, since 2000. Indiana hoping to hold serve on its home floor to force a Game 7 back inside Madison Square Garden. It is the lone NBA playoff game of this Friday night, and it's a 6-point spread in favor of Indiana at home. Over-under 215.5. Yesterday, a New York team went into Indy in the WNBA, the Liberty, and handled the Fever by nearly 40. I think tonight's game might be a little bit more competitive.
I hope it is much more competitive than even with the game we saw last night in the NBA, with a game on the home court where it's like, okay, well, if we're the away team and we lose tonight, no big deal. Let's see what happens. Oh, we didn't play well in the first 5 minutes. Let's just get to Game 7 already, because that kills prop bets unless you're great at betting unders, and that's the way you want to go through with it. Yesterday, for me, Anthony Edwards should have scored easily into the 40s. He gets 27 because of a 50-point victory on their home court. So you take a look at tonight and say, all right, Jalen Brunson, 34.5. That's where it's supposed to be. We expect him to get into the 30s. But also, last time we played in Indiana, what did we see here, Ben? An absolute smoke show blowout by the Pacers, where barely anybody was playing over 25 minutes on the New York Knicks. I want to believe, we had Brian on a little bit earlier to talk about this. I like the Knicks tonight. I like the Knicks and the points because I think they're going to give me an honest effort, not like what we saw out of the Nuggets last game, and also, quite frankly, what we saw out of the Knicks in their last game in Indiana. 34.5 points does make some sense for me. I like the points with the Knicks, but don't get it twisted. At halftime, if they're down 20 points, like, let's just rest everybody for game number 7, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, DRS, I do not expect this to be like the 2 Game 6s, or at least the Game 6 that we saw last night in Minnesota, or what I think happens tomorrow night in Dallas. I actually do believe this 6-point spread could come into play, even if the New York Knicks do lose the basketball game, as we saw in Game 3. Game 6 of the NBA playoffs in the Eastern Conference tonight between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. The Pacers booked as a 6-point home favorite for this matchup. Tonight's over-under in this game in Indy is listed at 215 and a hook. The last 2 games we have seen. Game 5, Knicks win by 30 inside Madison Square Garden. Game 4, our last one in Indianapolis, the Pacers win by 32. I expect tonight's game to be decided by 10 or less, and maybe even within that 6-point margin. DRS, I got to give way to Mike Blewett here in just a moment. He is hosting Newswire today for Craig Mish, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So the quick studio change. Jalen Brunson's 34.5 points prop makes a ton of sense. Listen, if the New York Knicks are going to stay close in this basketball game, Jalen Brunson flirts with that number. But my favorite points prop in this matchup, you can consider it my buy best bet, is Tyrese Haliburton over 20.5. For the second time in this series, inside MSG, Haliburton has put together a clunker. Only 9 field goal attempts, 5 of 9, but only 9 field goal attempts for just 13 points in Game 5. He said after the game, like he did after Game 1, I must be better. If Indiana is going to force a Game 7, give me Haliburton over 20 and a hook.
I agree with you there. I do think that the home team does have an advantage tonight, but I would also, Ben Stevens, like to take those 6 points in here. Hopefully it's a close game across the board, because I'm expecting to dip into some props here. Absolutely